Hello Cobra Kai fans, welcome back. So far, Cobra Kai has given us some teasers and at least we know what to expect in Season 6 Part 2. And speaking of John Kreese, we have already seen him in both the trailer and the most recent clip. We know he is facing challenges because his team will face the Iron Dragons, who defeated them in the teaser video. One would assume that Kreese will be at his mercy in Part 2 and may become less tough than before if things do not work out for him and his team. However, if you were expecting Kreese to be a less tough character in this next installment, you should reconsider. In fact, Kreese's arc for the next installment was revealed by his actor Martin Kove. As we had anticipated, he also unintentionally confirmed that Terry Silver would be a part of the next story.
Final season, we're keeping the party going because we got 3 parts, but how are we feeling right now?
Well, you know, the big surprises come a little bit later. Right now, he's as dark as ever.
Yeah.
And he is dark even in the second installment. But what happens to him is wonderful. The arc is incredible, and he deals with Terry Silver. And as of tomorrow, everybody will know, but they won't know all the things, you know, because a lot of the stuff happens in, I guess, the third set of 5. But it's really full circle for this guy, and it's fascinating. The writing is so good. They pay off all the characters. You know, there isn't anybody who doesn't really get their comeuppance positively or negatively, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Kreese is I always have a weird soft spot for him because he's like a father figure to Tory in a way. And so I just want him to be redeemed. And I'm like, stop doing bad stuff.
But you get your wish.
Okay, good.
You get your wish in a multitude fashion.
Okay.
So it's really, there are many lines that allude to what he does at the end, and he drops these little gloves. There's still, you know, lines like, there's still another part of the puzzle that needs to be fixed. And throughout all these episodes, he drops those lines, and then ultimately you see where his integrity lies, where his revenge lies, and what he has to do to make you feel that he's a decent person.
Kreese's fondness for Johnny Lawrence, among other things, have proven that there's humanity within Martin Kove's character. That's why there's been a sense that perhaps Johnny can change him. Briefly, Kreese seemed to be on a better path. He stopped Terry Silver from forcing Tory to cheat in the All Valley tournament and encouraged her to get out of the fight against Cobra Kai. But since then, Kreese has been back to his old ways. And now, the possibility of him crossing a line he can't come back from just got stronger. The influence he's having on Kwon and his apparent role as the main villain of Cobra Kai Season 6 lowers the chances of Kreese seeking redemption. Further complicating things is a tease from the Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 trailer, which hints at Kreese taking the war with Miyagi-Do to the next level. Toward the end of the trailer, someone can be seen flipping around Kim Sun-young's knife. And we saw Kreese holding it earlier in the image where he had Johnny and Daniel. An obvious implication here is that Kreese is prepared to use this knife. As for who he'd want to use it on, Daniel LaRusso feels like a plausible option, but Cobra Kai's previous setup points the finger at Johnny instead. After all, it shouldn't be forgotten that figuratively killing Johnny was how he obtained the weapon in the first place. In Season 4, Terry Silver exposed Johnny as Kreese's weakness. Having this knowledge led to him beating a hallucination of Johnny and killing him, thus proving that Kreese had finally rid himself of his weakness. The knife being a reward for that could serve as foreshadowing for how it'll ultimately being used. If it's true that Kreese no longer has an emotional attachment to Johnny, then it's possible that a heated conflict could push him that far. As he says in the trailer that he has nothing to lose now. The shot of the knife signals that Kreese's limits are about to be put to the test. An alternative interpretation of the knife tease is that it's a misdirect. Theoretically, it could wind up in the hands of someone else, like Kwon. The brutality that was on display earlier in Cobra Kai demonstrates that he's the most dangerous foe in Cobra Kai team. Given his recklessness, it's not hard to imagine a scenario where Kwon, tempted by Kreese's negative influence, becomes angry enough to take up his mentor's knife against one of his rivals. The series actually killing off a main character feels unlikely, but one of its villains making the attempt isn't unfeasible. Additionally, as stated by Martin Kove, Kreese intends to deal with Terry Silver as part of his major plans. Silver framed him for the assault on Stingray, sending him to prison in Season 5. When Kreese was being arrested, he angrily told Terry that he would regret double-crossing him. In Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 1, Kreese was focused on reclaiming Cobra Kai via Master Kim's students in South Korea, and as such, he did not play a part in Silver's downfall in Cobra Kai Season 5. For this reason, Kreese will want to exact his revenge against Terry Silver. This implies that Kreese will remain in the dark side in the forthcoming Part 2 until Part 3, when he will be fully redeemed. Furthermore, it is evident from Martin Kove's remarks that Terry Silver will also be redeemed. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. See you around.